one's called me bombshell, so I love this moment for me. This is the moment. I'm gonna keep this. I'm very bad with manifestations. I manifest something, 100% won't happen. Okay. Right now, I'm manifesting for better life. Worst life will happen in 1 hour. Okay. I genuinely believe that influencers are important. Social media is an important tool, and there is money that's coming out of it, so you can't just dismiss it. Comic flirt is perfect because in my head, he's a not yet successful comedian who flirts.
Oh yes, absolutely. Also, it's the stereotypical guy who we are supposed to like.
Yeah. Javed Akhtar's lines for the dog in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara.
He would easily be
cringe, but they not.
Absolutely.
Because Javed Saab wrote it. I will 100% write for Karan Johar. I know I will. I will make it happen.
कौन सी दुकान से खरीद के लाती हैं ये GUTS?
Ranbir Kapoor as Ranbir Kapoor an animal. No, as Ranbir Kapoor as Ranbir Kapoor and Sandeep Reddy Manga.
But that's true.
I'm also such a performer, right? So it really now I'm like, I don't want to perform all the time. I in fact let the boys perform the dates now. I'm like, तुम करो. And they're so fun at dates, but my bias is towards women. So
thanks, yaar.
I mean,
Hoe Code.
Unfortunately straight, but biased towards women.
Yeah, but Hoe Code, yeah.
Hoe Code. Hoe Code. Oh my God.
You gotta have a Hoe Code.
Hoe Code.
I promised you I would get us a bombshell on the show, and here she is. Sumukhi Suresh, thank you so much for joining me on Just to Film Me.
Please, more than that, no one's called me bombshell, so I love this moment for me. This is the moment. I'm gonna keep this. It's my birthday month, and this is my birthday gift.
OG bombshell, babe. Like, can I tell you if this show was called Life Lately? And it should be, I think so.
Oh yeah, that's a great name.
Thank you. Yeah. Life Lately with Sumukhi Suresh has been a lot of fun.
Ooh, Life Lately has been a lot of fun. It's true.
Yeah.
It's been very nice.
You've just written dialogue for Control,
yes,
which is streaming on Netflix.
Yes.
You're touring the country with Hoemonal.
Yes.
You have a lot of exciting stuff in the pipeline.
Yes.
And you continue to make us laugh on the gram. So,
yeah.
कैसे कर लेती हैं आप? पहले इससे शुरुआत करते हैं मैम.
मैं क्या करूं, मेरी PCOS की वजह से मैं तो सोती ही नहीं हूँ. मेरे बुरे स्लीपिंग हैबिट्स और मेरे प्री डायबिटिक नेचर
सबकी बदौलत
दोनों की वजह से मैं हर दिन किल किए जा रही. No, but I genuinely think it's been a shift because I have more time creatively now. I don't do admin stuff like my new agency. I want to give shout out to DCA. Thank you. They really have just taken over. So now I just do fun stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why there are more things that are coming from me.
So you have time to create.
Yeah, because you know you get the validation कि अगर आपने admin job कर लिया तो आपको लगता है आपने काम खत्म कर दिया है.
But वो नहीं है.
Yeah, but now that that's away, everyone's now staring at me saying that अब हमने कर दिया, अब क्या करेगी?
Yeah. Now what's your excuse?
Now what's your excuse? So it's really been that, and also just generally vibes have been better.
Let me get this straight. I can't really call Control a debut. But it is.
Yeah, it is.
Because with Pushpavali, you wrote everything.
Yeah, I did. I was screenplay.
So it's not like you've written dialogues for the first time because you wrote dialogues, you know, for that entire show as well.
Correct.
But how would you define Control as being important or watershed in the journey of Sumukhi Suresh?
It was working with Vikramaditya Motwane. I mean, actually, there are 2-3 things. One is, of course, when I was approached to write Control, I never thought I would write dialogues for a movie, let alone a movie for someone else.
Wow.
Like, I knew how to write Pushpavali because it was for me and the comics, and we had voices that were very clear about, right? So this was different because it's not like it's legit, but you know, it's not correct. The stakes are higher because there are bigger names involved.
Usually, when you are approaching characters who are Gen Z, social media influencers, there is a tendency to infantilize them and to make them sound like caricatures or silly.
Yeah.
And what I thought you did beautifully with just the dialogue or the way Nella spoke or Alan spoke for that matter is that even though he's AI,
but he spoke.
He spoke. They had some sort of roundness to them. And was that important to you?
Absolutely. Especially, I mean, I remember, I just, in fact, was telling literally 2-3 days back, we were discussing this, that I really believe social media influencers, I have no ironic point of view on it. I genuinely believe that influencers are important. Social media is an important tool, and there is money that's coming out of it, so you can't just dismiss it. कि ये सब तो बचपना है.
They're intelligent, they're hardworking, and they're self-starters.
Yeah, and I mean, I am a product of social media, so I can possibly know. I'd sell my tickets on social media. This is going on social media, so I can't come with the patronizing thought of like in बच्चों के लिए लिखूंगी मैं. नहीं, I think there's a lot of respect I have for the work and the hustle that happens. That's one, and especially Ananya is so. Dude, she's also natural, especially with this character.
She's very good, yeah.
She doesn't look like this is away from her. She's done such a stellar job. So writing for her was great. And Alan, oh, that was my favorite part. Because the moment those AI characters you were doing, the sporty guy, the judgy guy, or the comic flirt, the nerd.
Yeah.
Comic flirt is perfect because in my head, he's a not yet successful comedian who flirts.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Also, it's the stereotypical guy who we are supposed to like.
Yeah, exactly. He's the guy, the hot girls are like, shut up.
Yeah.
But they keep them in the back burner.
Yeah. Okay, रख
लेते हैं, Alan काम आएगा.
क्या पता किस दिन.
And Vihan for me was Bangalore boy. Like you have no idea how much I tried to get like a Bangalore scene and he's very like, please, babe. And I'm like, okay, cool.
इतना personal नहीं हो
सकता. इतना personal नहीं हो सकता, yeah.
But the story is fun, guys. It was 2018. It was the iReel Awards. And Sumukhi Suresh bumps into Vikramaditya Motwane and then she says, I'm going to write for you. And Vikramaditya Motwane says, cool.
Yeah.
Cut to 2024 and that actually happens. So
Yeah.
is this manifestation, ma'am?
I don't think so. I'm very bad with manifestations. I manifest something, 100% won't happen, okay? Right now, I'm manifesting for better life, worst life will happen in 1 hour, okay? I just knew that I saw him at iReel Awards. I have been a huge fan of Udaan, and I have also the way he writes. It's, Udaan especially I know the word is very used often. Poetic, also so rooted, so honest,
yes.
so correct that I was working in a food lab. And I remember watching Udaan and going that, oh man, it'd be so nice to work with this man. I don't even know why that thought came. And I remember 2018, he was sitting by the bar, or I think by the dinner table somewhere. And he was very puck out. So I'm like, excuse me, I introduced myself and I said, I'm Sumukhi. And the next 5 years, I'll work really hard to work with you.
How lovely.
And he was he was done for the day. He was not being mean, he was just like, cool, good one. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then 2-3 years went by, pandemic chal raha tha. I was like, I'm going to do an AMA specific for like writers, Bollywood, etc. And I got a chance to tag him. Then he followed back and I was like, hey, this material I have, do you want to read? So that happened back and forth. And then 2021, he called saying that, do you want to write dialogues for Control? Because there was a conversation in between, we pitched a show also to him, Sumaira and I. So it was all...
चल रहा था.
हाँ, so I wanted to make sure I was in the radar.
Correct.
I was like, please मुझे भूलना मत, मैं लिखती हूँ. So don't forget. And I think I'm very glad it all came together.
Do you at points like this ever sit back and ask yourself कि मेरे साथ क्या हो रहा है? Like what has surprised you most on your own journey, Sumukhi?
The biggest surprise is that I'm a writer. Guys, if you please ask my parents or my brothers who are, how South Indian families are. They are very well read. मेरे भाई बहुत किताब पढ़ते हैं भाई और वो अच्छे लिखते भी हैं. उनका language भी अच्छा है. My father's like English literature, masters, Tamil literature. Yeah. They're all like legends of writing.
I get the pressure.
And then here I've done food science and my favorite movie is Kuch Kuch Hota Hai with my Anjali attitude. If someone would have said, so you're writing.
और इससे पैसे मिल रहे हैं ये करने के लिए.
Yeah, and my brothers are also like, तू लिख रही है. They're also very surprised. They're not surprised by the hustle, but they're really surprised by, you're going to write. Okay, cool. I guess that's what you're doing. So the writing angle of me
surprises you.
It really surprises me, and more than the writing angle, the strong opinions I have about writing. I never thought. First, I thought it was a fluke. I was like, "तुक्के में हो गया लगता है ये." But no, I have very strong opinions about the way things
should be.
Yeah, should be. Whereas,
but who helped you develop this gut? Because it often happens that with great mentors, that happens.
Yeah.
But you're not a Kapoor Khan.
Oh man, I'd kill for it.
Not a Nepo baby. Then how?
I don't know. I think I would credit stand-up.
Yeah.
Because I think...
audience.
Yeah, because since stand-up comedians also just get their validation or their hate in the next 5 minutes. Like you can be whoever you want.
Correct.
You can be Bill Burr. You can be...
and you could die.
Yeah, and you could bomb, like straight up. Ali Wong could bomb for 5 minutes, kill for 5 minutes. So audience really keeps you humble. So you know that storytelling-wise, you got to be strong. So I think that's the gut. And it's something it's the gut for cringe. Like I get very worried.
Correct.
That if I'm writing cringe.
Yeah.
And I get very nervous about that. So, because even big, good dialogues, like dialogue, also could make you cringe or not.
Absolutely.
Right. Like
Absolutely.
Javed Akhtar's lines for the dog in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, it could easily be cringe, but they not.
Absolutely.
Because Javed Saab wrote it. Honey Rani's, most of her movies could be, it could be so, they're so precarious, right? But she, with her writing, is just perfect. Similarly, I think it's the cringe radar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to ask you that on this journey, I remember Pushpavali was a massive success.
Yeah.
It truly, I'll tell you what it said to me. It said to me that we have our own flea bag. And it's often said about Pushpavali in an Indian context. Then you went on to be an entrepreneur and you started Motormouth, where you said, I don't know, this is an office where we are going to come in and write.
Yeah.
Yeah? And now you are at some level. I remember you hosting the International Emmys last year.
Yeah.
What a moment, Sumukhi. I remember that moment and I said, wow, this is amazing. So for us, the internet junkies who followed your journey, it's been so exciting. But I always wanted to ask you that, did you at any point, always tell yourself that this is where I'll go next? Or is it happenstance? मतलब, पता नहीं मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, मैं चीजें कर रही हूँ, मैं हाथ पैर मार रही हूँ, लग जाए. What is it really?
First of all, International Emmys, I wish I was hosting. It was actually Veer Das was the first one to host.
Didi was hosting.
I was hosting Veer Das and Shefali Shah, which is great, which is good enough for me. Veer is hosting this year, so Veer recommend my name. That's a shout out to Veer. I think at the beginning of when I came to Bombay, or maybe when I started, I realized that it's better to do everything than just to do one thing.
Yes.
Because it's what it is. It's a sales logic, right? आप inquiry हर जगह से लो, तो फिर एक convert होता है.
Yeah. Oh my God! Is she a writer or a salesman?
Because I had a sales job before, so I was, so
no.
my whole thing is, okay, I need to. These are the skill sets that I think I have. I'm going to use them, and also Pushpavali was a huge indicator of everything. Like Pushpavali, I wanted to make by hook or crook. So I'm like, okay, I need to write it cool. Oh, I need to create it cool. Oh, I need to act in it great. Oh, that's what I wanted anyway. I wanted to act. So that project made me realize that it's never one thing. It actually is as many things about you makes you one artist.
Yeah.
So you cannot I can't just wake up and be like, hey Rohini, I can't. Maybe people can. But I can't say, I just want to be a stand-up comic. Because I think that limits me as a stand-up comic.
Correct.
So I would like to be as many things to be a great comic, as many things to be a writer. So I think the logic in my head is be as many things to be one good artist.
But I have to ask this on behalf of all the women who create. And it's not just for women, it's for anyone who wants to create, really.
But my bias is towards women, so
thanks, yaar.
I mean,
Hoe Code.
Unfortunately straight, but biased towards women.
Yeah, but Hoe Code, yeah.
Hoe Code. Hoe Code. Oh my God.
You gotta have a Hoe Code.
Hoe Code.
Yeah. So the Hoe Code, we have to have some codes.
Yeah.
The ones who do want to create, and I keep saying this, na Kapoor hai, na Khan hai, lekin phir bhi sabki jaan hai. Like,
whoa!
Hai na?
Crazy. Good one.
So, was there ever a point where there will be second guessing and there will be the lack of guts? कहाँ से कौन सी दुकान से खरीद के लाती हैं ये GUTS?
I feel like I don't have any understanding of consequences. I just want to be very clear.
It's a good thing.
मुझे रिजल्ट की ऐसा नहीं कि मैं कूल कि मुझे रिजल्ट की परवाह नहीं है, मुझे रिजल्ट की समझ नहीं है, तो मैं कर देती हूँ. फिर उसके बाद मैंने लग गया. It also is rooted in improv stand-up because you bomb so regularly that audience rejects you so regularly. That if a decision goes wrong and a rejection comes your way, okay, you of course will cry, but you got to pick yourself up and next day you have to do your next 5 minutes. So
correct.
If that funda I think applies to everything, and I know I'm being very simple in general.
No, but it's fine.
Yeah, it is.
That's how you look at it.
And also with girls, I specifically think we take rejection also very personally.
Yes.
Because because what we work on is also very personal. When they say no, Sumukhi, it's not personal. No, everything is personal. I have yes-handed that concept very well. If someone comes and tells you, hey, don't take it personally. Be like, sorry, the conversation's over. I've already taken it personally.
Yeah.
So now change your conversation to this girl takes everything personally.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing also because that's how much my work would also be. So since that is so personal to us. Rejection also feels very personal. So we have to find a way, and it's very tough. I'm still working hard to make it, to go past that personal rejection. Because someone rejecting your work feels like you are rejected.
100%.
Now, boys are not like that. I have 2-3 boys who work with Motor Mouth now.
Yes.
No, I'm giving them feedback, no problem.
This is a great point in the conversation to ask you. How do you make sure that, the truth is we're a country that loves dialogues.
Yeah.
And the dialogue-y dialogue.
Dialogue
है ना?
रिश्ते में तो
रिश्ते में हम तुम्हारे बाप लगते हैं.
नाम है Hoemonal, sorry.
नाम है Hoemonal. And then you also have like मेरे पास माँ है.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about these lines is actually it's never the lines.
Yeah.
The lines are super simple. What is मेरे पास माँ है?
Yeah.
It's a simple line.
Yeah.
But the reason why it has become so iconic is because of the delivery and what comes before and after.
Yeah.
I just feel like, so do you think that there is a side of you, because you are a Gen Z writer or a millennial writer, to consciously stay away from the dialoguiness of dialogues?
I think so. I love, this is how I write dialogues, and I've written it in Pushpavali also very similarly. Please.
Yeah.
Similarly in Pushpavali as well, where I improv or improvise a scene and then I write sometimes. I end up writing dialogues. Invariably, I improvise the dialogue or the scene before, and then I end up writing it out, like based on what I have. I record it and I write it out. Or if I have written it out, I read it out like 10 times to myself, to 1 or 2 trusted people, is to know if it sounds like I'm speaking rather than I'm saying something that someone has written for me. I like this a lot because I think it's also stems from comedy writing. Is that there is the punchliney comedy, the toing, that one. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's what it is. But you know, this is why you like Kader Khan and Govinda. That it looks like they've improvised the scene, but Kader Khan has written the dialogues.
Yeah.
So my biggest meter of landing a line is if someone says, "Hey, it looked like Ananya came up with the lines." I'm like, "That's perfect."
Amazing.
That is perfect because that's exact. Then I've done a good job of writing for Nella.
Correct.
Or writing for Alan, or
Correct.
writing for Joe. So I'm a big fan of writing as if it looks like I'm speaking.
Correct.
The dialogue, I don't know. I'm not going to. Maybe I'll write it Maybe I'll find a way to write dialogue and make it conversational.
Or maybe you'll just do it because it works.
I don't know.
The context. We don't know.
I don't know if I'll be able to pull out dialogue, but maybe I can find a way to make it conversational still. That would be fun.
Tell me the writers that you respect when it comes to dialogues, and tell me the directors that you want to work with.
Oh my God. I'm a big Kader Khan fan. I'm a big Crazy Mohan fan. He's a Tamil writer. In fact, his comedy, oh man, if I could just replicate it, it would be too good. So Crazy Mohan, I think Kader Khan. I'm a big fan of Juhi Chaturvedi. I think she writes so well. Like it's so perfect.
So beautiful.
Yeah, like the way she plays with her moments, I'm so jealous. And if she could just spend 1 hour with me to teach me how to do that. Because I fill my silences and she lives on silences.
Yeah,
so it would be great to, do these 3 favorites.
Correct.
Oh, Greta, I think, in terms of directors.
Who do you want to work with? And it could be all the world's your stage.
I would love to write for Anurag Kashyap. In fact, the first thing I remember when he read the dialogues and he called me. It was an unknown number. I cut it. I was just getting up on stage, and he messaged me saying, "Hey, what great dialogues!" I was like, "Oh shit! I just get a message from Anurag Kashyap, and I'm going on stage." So I would love to write his next. I think it would be so fun.
Inshallah.
To write for him.
Inshallah.
I will 100% write for Karan Johar. I know I will. I will make it happen. Like I'm not even being cocky. I know I'll work towards, like how I work towards Vikramaditya Motwane.
Yeah.
I will work towards writing for Karan Johar because I'm a big fan of rom-coms.
Absolutely.
I'm a big fan of, how much ever everyone says and all, but nobody forgets K3G. Nobody
Absolutely.
forgets Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. Nobody forgets his lines, dude. He's a great writer.
Completely.
Since he's everything.
Minus.
Exactly. Since he's everything, everywhere, you forget that he's a writer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I would love to be in his writer's
Mr.
room.
Johar, you wearing a choti wali tie and showing up for national awards. You have my respect. And that big boss eye. I mean, who are you? I mean, these are my references. I'm sure they're like some designer that we can't even talk about because we don't know them. But thank you for being so many things.
Sorry, 2 more. I want to work with Reema Kagti. Oh, I have to. Again, as Karan, I'll figure a way out Reema Kagti and Kiran Rao.
I love her.
Yeah. 4
Kiran is
people.
good.
Okay, so we have Anurag, Kashyap, Karan, Johar, Reema Kagti, Kiran Rao.
Let's talk about Hoemonal. It's very, very important to me because that is where I saw the show being formed, if you remember. It was a little trial show that you'd done. Yeah. And you made so much fun of me in the audience. We had so much fun. We had a blast because you were just like, of course she's laughing. She knows this is all about her. And I was like, oh my God, this is so fun. I saw that show from a 30 people room to become a 1500 auditorium, to become a 3000 auditorium. I have literally watched the beats of this show. I think you created a voice for all of those women, okay, who never thought that यार ये जो हमारी personal problems है ना, बहुत personal, वो तुम बाहर ले आओगे और हम सबके सामने रख दोगे. And we all felt better after watching that show.
Hey, thank you.
And that's what it did to me. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you. That's such a great compliment for this show. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
It's touring the country now.
Yeah.
What has been the most rewarding thing for you with Hoemonal?
I think my first special was nice. Fine. Okay. But I think with Hoemonal, I took my time. And I think Hoemonal, I really came into being the storyteller that I am.
Yeah.
I have realized that I enjoy, people say, finding your voice. I don't think I found my voice, but I know I found my voice for Hoemonal, for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
That is a huge change for me. Secondly, I think the second leg after my Edinburgh Fringe, when I did my Mumbai show, I think it was before Edinburgh maybe.
Mumbai show really shifted it. Yes.
Yeah, because I think it was, I know that my show is very good. And I know that my show and I know that it's good is because it's very honest. Like, I'm not being dishonest at all. And if you've reached that stage in your special or in your solo, that's a great space to be in. But I liked the way it was put together, the packaging of my show in Mumbai. And that's so important, Like, everyone's...
And I also remember you, at some point, also share your fears with us.
Yeah.
You know, as women, what we constantly self-doubt is that, क्या लोग आएंगे? क्या 1500 लोग आएंगे? क्या 3000 लोग आएंगे? And I think the reward is when they surprise you. जब 1500 आते हैं और 3000 आते हैं. ऐसा क्यों है सुमुखी कि लड़कों को कभी इस बात पर doubt ही नहीं होता?
But boys are taking risks from beginning. They go out to play. They can come back whenever they want. There are no barriers or there are no तो नाम बोलते ही नहीं है ना क्योंकि पहले बाहर खेलने के अरे क्रिकेट खेल रहा है लफंटरगिरी कर रहा है कहीं पड़ा होगा कहीं these are because
they're supposed to fend for themselves at a very young age.
And also the space, it is a safe space for them. They can go out, there is no fear of
they can lose,
they can like क्रिकेट में हार गए लड़कों के साथ दोस्तों के साथ बकचोदी की वापस आ गए. So the concept of loss is not personal. The concept of winning is exhilarating and loved by all the boys together. ज़्यादा नोक-झोंक नहीं है, कोई टोकता नहीं एक दूसरे को. Like, that's why I recently met a boy who started investing when he was 15. Can you imagine? Girls are making money at 30. And now also we are like, हमें तो mutual funds पता नहीं. किसी को mutual funds नहीं पता दोस्त. पर लड़के किल कर रहे हैं. लड़के अरे पैसा डाल के तो देखते हैं. क्या ही हो जाएगा निकाल लेंगे 1500 बाद में. Which is we gotta take a leaf out of their book.
Absolutely.
But it's unfair, right? Because when we go into play out 6 o'clock, you're gonna come back. We gotta be safer. Who are you going with? There are more questions. So when it's inherently
doubted, every move of yours is doubted, you will doubt your own moves.
So for I think, at least personally, a lot of girls have the journey of being protected or being not protected as much as restricted. Okay. Then they lie and then they live their life a little bit. Okay. Then some people get married. Then they're like, oh, I don't think it's a great idea. They leave the marriage. Then they're like, wow, this is a great idea. Oh, life is great. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. I can make money. Oh, I'm investing. Oh, okay. I can explore my sexuality.
What? Dating? Great. Yeah.
So, boys are already at this. We have gone
up and down. Yeah. I was thinking about this a few days ago, which is that the difference between men and women is primarily that men are all about least effort and women are all about most effort. And it's not to say that men don't work hard. I'm just saying that men are geared to figuring out what's the easiest, most efficient way to do something.
Big fans.
Yeah.
I'm big fan.
We are like, at least I am like, No. I will think of all the things that can go wrong and then I'll choose the safest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Just भेज दो ना BFAST से.
Yeah.
पहुंचा
Yeah.
नहीं पहुंचा नहीं. I'm like, no. What if it breaks?
The chill,
No, I
yeah.
can't. I'll wrap it in something. I'll send something. Then I'll call the BFAST guy 10 times. And my energy. I should have only gone and delivered it.
You know, it's insane because this year I've realized, because for the longest time I was like, मैं भी लड़कों जितना कर सकती हूँ, मैं कर सकती हूँ. But sometimes I'm like, मुझे क्यों करना है, लड़के कर लेंगे. Like कोई लड़का मेरा सूटकेस उठा रहा है, उठाने दो, उठा ले भाई. In fact,
They really enjoyed. They're like,
हम मर गए हैं क्या?
Yeah.
हम उठाते हैं सूटकेस, मैं वेट्स करता हूँ. I'm like, great, thank you so much. मैं तेरे लिए लाता हूँ drink and first I used to take it very personally. I'm like, मैं खुद ला सकती हूँ.
Correct.
Then they will. I don't think they come from like मैं तुझे बताऊंगा. They're like नहीं मैं जा रहा हूँ.
So now let's ask you a personal question. Dating life कैसे चल रही है? चल रही है दीदी, मजे आ रहे हैं? Because जितनी successful औरतें होती है उतने वो
कम
हो जाता है यार.
That's true. मैंने ना अपने आप को कहा था मेरे ब्रेकअप के बाद मैं 3 साल heal होंगी. And I did, to be fair. I healed pretty well. Okay. You know, now it's actually very nice. To be fair, I think I don't know if this is happening
with you.
But every small date or every small effort that I make, I learn something new about myself. Like recently, I did something, which is nice. I enjoyed it, but that action, I don't want to come up and say what the action is, but I remember I connected with an old friend of mine. His name is Siddharth Nooni, shout out. He's a cinematographer. He just did Vijay's Goat.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's on Netflix. Please check it out. Both of us were talking, and we've known each other from theatre days in Chennai. So he used to like be actor. I used to do backstage. So and now here we are. It's great.
He's backstage and you're the actor.
It's you know, he's killing it. And it's such a great place to be in, and we were talking about this, and. He said something so wonderful. He's like, you cannot enter a room keeping whatever you've worked on away from it. You have to enter with it. You know, I said, no. But I said, the Sumukhi work is different. The Sumukhi person is different. He's like, no. He said, you're an artist. Sumukhi person is the same as Sumukhi work. Especially with you, where your work is so important to you.
Yeah, and so personal.
Yeah, and I'm like, isn't that wrong? He's like,
why is
that wrong? And I'm like, no, but then, like, who am I away from work? And he's like, but why is work such a bad word? I was like, you do it out of... You know, we used to have a job and then we used to hate our life. And now I left that job and I'm doing what I love.
Yeah, it has to be
I cannot treat this as a job and then whatever I do away from it as not.
Correct.
So he very recently told me this, that, you know, you gotta own your power. So if you're entering a room and if you're entering a date, it has to be that, can he align to this life? Can he be part of this? Is it easier for him? And that change has immediately increased my self-worth. I immediately look at different kind of boys where I'm like, no, I'm going to look for people who I can adjust with this lifestyle of me. I love working.
Yeah.
So I got to be with someone either who loves working or a homeboy, whichever is cool. But it's got to... And it was such a small thing that he said.
It unlocks.
And it's changed a perspective. And I am very clear now that the next time I date, or if I want to date, or whoever I date, it has to be an equal relationship.
Yeah.
And I want to come in clear. I don't want to come in with the same patterns that I had of. Because Sumukhi, a 20-year-old Sumukhi was impressing so much.
Yeah, people pleasing.
Yeah.
We've done that all our lives.
I'm also such a performer, right? So it really, now I'm like, I don't want to perform all the time. I in fact let the boys perform in the dates now. I'm like, tum karo. And they're so fun at dates.
Show me what you got.
They talk.
And then, first of all, they talk and then they look at me, they're like, you're uncomfortable with silence. I'm like, why? They're like, you were silent. I said, because I was listening to you. I said, you're just uncomfortable that I am silent.
Yeah.
That is your problem.
You want me to participate.
Because you're very like, Sumukhi baat kyun nahi kar rahi hai? Sumukhi to hamesha baat karti hai, right? So which is, this whole space is fun. So I'm really enjoying dating, but the next, Sumukhi is now only looking for boyfriends. Sumukhi is done with her hoe phase.
Hey, just putting it out there in the universe.
Yeah, if anyone wants to be a boyfriend, let me know.
I love it. The Hoe merch, where can we get the Hoe merch from?
Please, SumukhiSuresh.merch garage. There are Hoe tees, there are Hoe hoodies, which are called Hoodies. And if you know, it's very cute because I put this t-shirt on. A lot of girls are like, I want this t-shirt, but